Welcome back to another episode of Hunter's Legacy, the hunting podcast that ditches the pros for the average Joes. This week we're covering a new state. We're in upstate New York, where Tanner wishes he was living in the city.
Anything but.
Tanner's a father, and sounds like he's got a pretty new fiance, but he's got a fiance we'll go with. So Tanner, what's going on, man?
Not a lot, man. I'm happy to be here. This is pretty cool to be on the other side of things.
A lot less work for you, probably.
Yeah, I just show up. This ain't bad.
Why don't you go ahead and fill the guest? Well, fill the audience in, all 25 of them, a little bit about yourself before we roll into this.
Absolutely. I'm Tanner Carey from upstate New York. 30 years old this past November. I got two kids, an 11-year-old, and I have another one that just turned 3 weeks today. So there's a bit of an age gap there, but we're working with it. And I have a beautiful fiance. I got some of the best family hunting buddies that anybody could ever ask for.
That's cool, man. Have you been in New York your whole life?
Yeah, born and raised. I was raised up probably 15 miles east of here. But other than that, I've been right around this whole area.
What are some cities close by that people might recognize?
The biggest one is it's hard to explain to anybody whenever you tell them that you're not from the city. They don't know where anything else is in New York. So we always tell them Cooperstown, the Baseball Hall of Fame, about 40 minutes from there.
How far away from like Buffalo and New York City are you?
About 4.5 hours away east of Buffalo, and I don't even know how long it gets to the city, man. I've never been there.
Really?
Yeah, never been. I'm gonna probably die going down with that. Yeah,
Have you been to a Buffalo football game?
I have. I know they were really they get worried every year when they start making it. I don't watch any sports really, but I know whenever they start getting further down and they get closer, they're super worried about what's going to happen if they ever win a Super Bowl. I think the whole city's going to burn down.
Oh, they deserve it about as much as anybody. I'm a Vikings fan, so I can sympathize a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Yep, yep.
How old did you say you were?
I'm 30. November 17th is my birthday, right in the heart of deer season.
Perfect excuse to get out for a day, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've been with my fiance now. It's our 4th year season, and I think this year's the first birthday that I ever got to spend with her.
Really? Just tagged out?
No, just the way that our hunting trip fell. We ended up leaving super early this year because we had to go to Idaho, and their season is really early for rifle mule deer. And I don't like to spend more than a month away from family, so we ended up coming back a little bit sooner than later. And I made my birthday back here. I got to hunt at home with my family and everything. It was pretty neat.
Oh, very cool. So tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are. Did you grow up hunting with your dad? How'd you get started?
Oh, absolutely. That's full blooded. My dad. He he never really had to ask though. He always went hunting and everything. And I remember we had these windows that faced out towards this big swamp bottom that went out across the road, and he always had stands down in there. And I would always watch him walk back up at night, watch for his little headlamp and everything, and just to see if he got any. I remember one time he killed this real big buck. I think I was probably 9 years old, and he must have been down in town bragging about it or something. I remember I got home from the school bus and it was hanging there in the tree. And I went up and I was like, "Boy, Dad got him." I didn't know what he got, but I was just happy for him. But oh, he's had us probably more turkey hunting. He took us a lot younger with that than anything. But even squirrel hunting. I mean, anything that we asked him to do, fishing, anything, he would never say no. Even if he didn't know a lot about it, he would take us like fishing. None of us in our family know a lot about fishing, but that guy, he'd take us, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today." Okay.
Any siblings?
Yeah, sir. I have a older sister. She's 32, and I have a younger brother. He's 28.
He was taking all the kids out or what?
Oh yeah, most of us. Yeah. I know him and my sister, they'd get it once she started getting older, him and her would get into it a little bit more than than we would, but, my brother and him and we would I mean, we just went all the time, any chance we could get. We trapped a lot, though, that's probably what we grew up doing the most was trapping.
You said your sister got into it, like, she was going out more than the boys did, or what?
No, like, arguments on the way to the tree stand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just about I don't know, she never was good at taking orders, though, either.
To this day?
Still, yeah.
How old do you think you were when you started going with your dad?
I even trapping, I was maybe 7, maybe 6, 7 years old, and, I mean, that would have been my brother was even younger than me, but and I remember we would have a trap line, and he would wake us up early, we'd go check it before school and everything, get back that was the race, was to get back, see if we'd get back home before the bus came by. My dad used to work nights when we were little, real little, so when he got home with us, like, he wasn't really ready for bed yet, so that's where we got into the whole trapping thing, we'd go out and check him in the morning.
It was a race for you to get to the school bus, or it was a race for him to get you to the school bus?
Probably him so he could get us to the school so he could sleep a little bit.
There you go. And how long do you think you were tagging along before he started to pass the reins along to you?
Oh, geez, I remember I used to go and he'd bring me down and I would have he'd set me up a tree stand like 20 yards away from him, and I remember, like, there'd be deer coming in and everything, I'd be waving to him, telling him, "Hey, there's some coming," and he would he'd get so frustrated with me. He just wanted me to sit there and sit still. I just get excited about it. I love seeing deer.
Do you remember the first time you went, instead of following him around, you actually went on your first hunt?
Yeah, yeah, it was in a cherry tree. He set the stand up and everything, and, he told me I was gonna be going he was gonna put me out by myself that night, and I went out there, and he walked me to my tree, and he helped me get up in there, get strapped in and everything, and he said, "Alright, you stay here till dark." And I said, "Dad, I don't know if I can do that." I was little. He's like, "No, you're gonna stay here till dark." I said, "Yes, sir." I stay here till dark. And he ended up coming to get me after dark, but I think I seen, like, 4 deer. They were probably all 200 yards away, but I was shaking like you wouldn't believe.
How old do you think you were at this point?
Boy, I didn't even have a gun or a bow or anything. I mean, I was probably 9.
No weapon?
No, no, he wanted me to maybe he didn't trust me enough, I don't know. He wanted to make sure that, like, when we went out there that we were capable and comparable of following through with what we were doing.
Oh, don't kid yourself. He just wanted to sit in a stand by himself.
Probably. He wanted yeah, alright, he's waving away all the deer over there, we'll put him over here.
How long do you think you went? Was this just a one-time occasion, or did he do that a couple times? Really?
You know, every day. My dad, he would, like I said, he worked nights. He would, I wouldn't get off the school bus till like 2:45, 3 o'clock, and he would wait till we would get home, and then he would take us out. Cause I mean, he very well could have been in a tree stand set up by 2:30, but he would wait, and then we would walk everywhere. He didn't like driving the four-wheeler or anything anywhere, and so we would just I mean, we'd walk for 4 or 500 yards, and this is all back then, we could hunt right from, the porch, like, we just get out and walk wherever, and, yeah, he would wait for us to get home, and every day, and he would never have to ask, like, we got home, and we always walked everywhere, so we had to walk from the porch, that's where we all hunted, it was right around our house, and it was, you know, 4 or 500 yards we'd have to go.
That had to have been pretty cool having the woods in your backyard like that.
That was, and I feel like that was something that I took for granted a little bit back then. I wished I had more of that now.
Not so much the case.
No, no, now it's boy, I'm about 90% public now. It's
Really?
a little bit rougher, yeah.
Did your dad sell or what?
No, that was all old farmer just let us have run of the place. It was, I think, 800 acres, and we got to hunt all of it. And then there was a adjoining piece that was 900 acres. During gun season, you could only shotgun hunt it. Even when they changed it in New York from shotgun to where you could use rifle, we still had to only shotgun hunt that.
What happened to that property?
The, uh, the old farmer, he ended up passing away. Love that guy to death, Larry Brill. And, I think it was his nephew ended up, buying the place. Super good guy still. I mean, but he, wants it for his family. I don't fault him at all for it. And then, the other adjoining 900-acre piece, he's sold around here. Amish moved in a lot, and he sold a bunch of big chunks off of that. But my dad leased, I think it was like 100 acres, 130 acres or something off of him. So he still has something close to there.
Okay. This nephew that bought it, was he from the area?
Yes, yes, he was probably only 15, 20 minutes away, but he moved into the other house and everything now.
The reason I ask is because was he hunting back when you guys hunted and you guys were just kind of sharing it?
No, no, not that I know of. I know there was, I mean, us and it was a couple neighbors and everything that we would all kind of. I mean, we never got in arguments or anything. Everybody kind of had their little pieces that they liked to go to back in the day. Other than that, no, there wasn't nothing. I mean, there was us and maybe three other guys on 400 acres.
Makes a little more sense now. You said your dad didn't want to drive four-wheelers down. Maybe is him wanting to respect the property.
Yeah, and he was the farmer. He was big on that. He didn't want like driving through fields and everything. There was only like maybe two big fields on there, but other than that, and all that, and I think my dad's really big into not spooking deer. It's
Yeah, it kind of sounds that way.
yeah, which the older I get, I don't know if I agree with all that much or not, but
Well, I mean, they give or take it. They kind of get used to it a little bit, and some of that, some of this, and all that. So, do you remember the first time you had a successful hunt? Were you with your dad?
no, actually, I think, well, turkey hunting, yes, but deer wise, I don't. I've only killed maybe two deer, I think, with my dad, maybe if, and even then it was just doe. But I don't. Me and him, we've never. It was always spread the wealth to try to get the deer, not hunt together and everything. You know what I mean? To sit in the same spot. My dad. I don't know if he thought it was useless to sit in the same spot, but it was. It felt like you were consolidating your chances.
But even when you're 9 years old, sitting by yourself, you think, okay, maybe I'll sit with Tanner and watch him shoot a deer.
Oh, he did very well. Yeah, I seen him on my birthday one year. I was maybe 11. And it was my 11th birthday. And before everybody came over, it was me and my brother were sitting in his lap, and he ended up shooting a nice 8 point.
But did he watch you kill?
Oh yeah, I don't know. We hunt together a lot, but I don't know if he's ever been with me, like sitting next to me. No, I don't think so.
That's kind of surprising. You think sounds like your dad's a great guy, but why wouldn't you want to like be out there when your son shoots the first buck or something?
I don't know. I don't. He's very. I want to make sure you can do it on your own. Like he's like I don't know how to explain him. He's a different guy.
Well, I know how it goes. My dad never really did that sort of stuff with me either, but like I know if I have kids, I have nieces and nephews, and I love watching them shoot deer.
And I can't. I will not miss my daughters. Not 1 second of it. I will be there. Do you got any kids?
I don't know.
No. How old are your nieces and nephews?
I think the two oldest are about 14 now.
And you've watched them hunt?
Oh yeah, I got my niece her first deer and her first buck.
No kidding. Recently?
I think it was her first buck. She might have shot a small one, but I think it was a couple seasons ago. She's 12 when she shot her first buck. Youth seasons before everything else. I'm a little bit of a trophy hunter, so I had like a 140-inch 9-pointer, kind of borderline for me to shoot. I'm like, you want to shoot him, Madison? Sure enough, first night we went out, she plugged him.
Okay, good for her, man. Good for her. That's a heck of a way to start. This is my first one right here. My mom mounted him for me.
That's not a bad first buck.
No, just big old cow horn spike. This one, the big one, or the on the big wooden plaque right here.
Oh, I can't even make it out.
Yeah, it's this camera.
The ones above the doorway don't look too bad.
Yeah. No, this one I think it's because she put a bunch of shrubbery and fake plants and stuff on it.
How'd that hunt go down?
That was, me and my dad this was like, early 2000s, so everything was food plots, food plots. Us coming from up here, like, there was nothing around, there was no fields or anything, so, I mean, we raked out this spot in an apple orchard and just threw clover, and then, I mean, it was maybe 10 by 14, and I was sitting in a cherry tree, and these hemlock branches came around you, and, I'll never forget, my dad was a very big sit in the same stand every day until something comes in. Now, I don't know if anybody else has ever done that, but especially as a little kid, that is hard to do. And then finally, after
Why is it hard to do?
because up here back then there was a very high doe population, and because I don't know what it was back then. They would it was frowned upon to shoot does, so we there was just doe, doe, doe. You'd see 20 doe a night and not even see a buck. It was unreal. It was crazy.
You were just getting bored?
Not bored, just when I saw a buck, it took me by surprise a little bit.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, you're sitting in the same tree every day and hunting over some clover.
Oh, yeah, in an apple orchard. That's my dad's trick to killing every deer is apple orchards. But anyway, I don't wanna give away all his secrets. So I was sitting there, and I remember we had, it was a Browning buckshot bow, and I had it hung on the cherry branch. It went out, and I grabbed it when this buck come in. I was like, "Holy cow!" So I went to grab it, and I went to go move my bow over to in front of me, and it was back when it only had you had a two-prong rest, and the arrow just kind of sat on it, and I hit it on the branch, and it fell off onto my wrist, and so the buck stopped for a minute, and then he kind of looked around, and he went back down to eating in the clover, and I was trying to do like a weird horseshoe maneuver to get my arrow back on there, and I finally did, and I told my dad when I shot him, I told my dad, I was like, "Boy, I don't know how high that tree stand is, but I'm pretty sure that buck jumped up eye level with me after I shot him."
Of course he did.
Yeah,
How old do you think you were at this point?
maybe 12.
That's pretty good for a first buck at 12.
Oh, yeah, and my dad, he was boy, I'll never forget because I tried tracking him a little bit, and I was so short back then, and I couldn't see over the tall grass, and he ran out on this edge of the CRP field, and I lost blood, and I tracked him maybe 70 yards, and I, did what they did in TV. I stuck my arrow in the ground where I last found blood, and I went home. I'll never forget. I walked all the way back to my house, and I stood on the porch, and I yelled down to my dad because I knew kind of where he was hunting. I yelled down. I said, "Hey, Dad, I got a surprise!" And 20 minutes later, I'll never forget, I was eating, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream on a couch watching SpongeBob, and I heard him barreling up the stairs. He come in, "What? No way you shot one." And I was like, "Yeah." We went up there, and, uh, I showed him where I tracked him, and he's like, "Yeah, you did it just perfect." And we were bent over looking, and he stood up and looked over, and I mean, the buck was only laying maybe 8 yards away from where I was. I just wasn't tall enough to be able to see him. But he was in his long johns, hooting and hollering, fist pumping. Oh, man, that is one of my core memories.
I mean, it's a couple of things. One, I always think of myself when I was younger as being kind of delusional. To this day, still don't think I see deer as big as I did when I was a kid, but I think you just, like you said, the deer jumped up as high as a tree stand. I think you just get overexcited when you're a kid and things just seem a lot better. But like, man, you telling me that story takes me back to my younger years. Just how excited you are to like tell your dad something cool. Maybe it's not that you shot a deer, but just the excitement. Like you want to feel so good seeing him proud of you.
Absolutely, and it's weird. like, crave it. Like, it's weird. Like, I not that I look for my dad's approval, but whenever I know he's happy of me or proud of me or for doing something that's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, when he's disappointed. It hurts a lot, but I try not to disappoint him at all, but like, even calling him to tell him that, like, "Hey, you're a grandpa again," like, he loves it. I think he's got, like, 8 grandkids now.
Sometimes you think they like grandkids more than they like their own kids.
Oh my god, yeah, because they could feed them and send them home.
Give them candy, and when they get rowdy, time to go home.
Exactly.
So you shot your first one with a bow, huh?
Yeah, I did it kinda ass backwards, and then I didn't shoot my first one I shot a couple with a bow, and then I didn't shoot my first one with a gun until I was, like, 16, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah. My dad wasn't ever really big into gun hunting. My dad's, father taught him like, the gun hunting and everything, but my dad always said my grandpa didn't have the patience for bow hunting, so my dad taught himself kinda how to bow hunt and even turkey hunt, and to that, like, my dad, he's one of the best bow hunters and turkey hunters I've ever met in my life.
That is kind of bass backwards, but good for you, man.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes, like, even like, I think back on my dad, like, having to teach himself how to bow hunt and how to turkey hunt to like, it makes you learn it a little bit better because you don't get other people's bad habits and everything, and, like, to us going me and my brother going and travel hunting or going to even to hunt public land, it like, it's just us learning it. Like, my dad wouldn't step foot on public land, even to this day, he never would.
Well, once you're spoiled for so long, it's hard to. The biggest thing, and I can relate to your dad, maybe you have to rely on public, but if I have access to private and I don't have to deal with people, why would I want to go on public?
For sure. We brought my dad to, Ohio for that was a couple years ago, and he was not a fan, not a fan. We brought him from, like, November 6th to the 12th of November, and, that was our very first ever out-of-state deer hunting trip, and him and my brother had it rough. It was bad. I remember my brother I had, an old XOP set with the 4 three-step sticks, and I told my brother, I said, "They are heavy. You don't wanna be carrying them around Ohio." And it just had the webbing for shoulder straps. It didn't have any, like, actual backpack straps on it, and by then, I had bought, Lone Wolf Custom Gear .5, and I was hunting with that, and I'll never forget the first day my brother come walking out of them hills of Ohio with that XOP on his back. He threw it down, just sweat beading off him. He's like, "Well, I'm about done with this."
Have you transitioned from the tree stand to the saddle yet?
I have probably within the past 2 years, I've started I was well, I shouldn't even say I started, but it's mainly all I do now, it seems like. I don't wanna say that I've given up the tree stand, but I'm mainly saddle hunting now.
That's something I would like to get into someday.
It is good. That's something I don't discourage anybody to splurge a little bit on a nicer saddle. Like, platform you can get away with a little bit, but a saddle to be actual comfortable and everything and be able to sit there.
What do you run for a saddle?
Well, I should take some of my own medicine there. I run the the basic I think it's a tethered Manus, like one of the first ones they came out with, but I need to upgrade it because boy, there's only so many all day sets. Everybody can say whatever they want about these saddles and everything, but you sit in one I mean, we're gone for a month hunting all day, every day, or not all day, but every morning, every night usually, and it could get old.
Well, it'd be the same way sitting in a tree stand too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, but, I mean, these people that say, "Oh, yeah, you can live out of one of these saddles," or I mean, I'm sure they got more comfortable ones out there and everything. I'm just saying I don't want people their expectations to be, "Alright, I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna be the best of the best." It's just the best of the worst, I guess.
Absolutely. So you switch from tree stand to saddle. Has anything else in how do I want to say this? Have you kind of evolved more so than tree stand to saddle? Like, what else has changed since hunting your younger years to now?
Boy, from my dad just, you hunt it here and you just wait, and now, like, we never used to pay attention to wind or anything. It was just you always hunted there, and then me and my brother, we started getting older and doing this travel thing and hunting public land. Like you got to be a little bit more intuitive of what's going on around you and everything. And so it's been a big learning curve for us and everything. And just to, but we like the competition part of it. Like we all played sports and everything. And in my mind, I feel like with the public land thing, and for us, it's a competitive thing. Like you're out there with everybody else, you're on a playing field.
And do you like that challenge, or would you rather be on private?
Oh, I mean, give me 200 acres anywhere. I'd be all right. But I mean, I like it. I love the suck. I'm a sucker for it. I don't know what it is. Like I've had so many miserable nights of dragging deer out, or I shouldn't even say miserable, just long nights and everything. But we love it. We love it. The worse it is, and I'm a firm believer. If you're on a long hunting trip, something bad has to happen for you to kill a big one.
Yeah, life in general, man, that makes you appreciate it more.
Absolutely, absolutely, and like, I mean, we've never had anything easy given to us, so to us working harder for it, it just seems natural. I guess I don't know.
What are some horror stories from public? Some You ever get in any sticky situations?
my, my first year before we went to Ohio, there was a time I don't want to say the guy's name, but I tried to go out with this outfitter that I'd found from Exodus Whitetail Cribs, and so I got a hold of him and everything. He used to run this outfitting. I went down there and it ended up being a very, very shady situation. This was in Kentucky, northeastern Kentucky. And I met probably two of the best people I'll ever meet in my life from there, though. And they got roped in the same situation I did, but we still talk and everything. One of them, he's a pretty well known dude. He's from Iowa. He's a good dude. He's humble and everything, but he's killed giants every year. I don't know what it is, man. He's good. But anyway, um, so him, and one of his buddies that was there with him kind of got together. We were staying in the same hotel and everything, and we're like, man, this is just seems wrong. And they're like, well, we're gonna leave. Like this isn't worth it for us. And me at the time, I was like, I wasn't making a lot of money. I'm like, dude, I just spent a year and a half saving up for this. Like I can't go home. Yeah. And so they helped me go out and scout this public land. And so they left the next day after we looked around at public land. And I went back to the parking spot that we had scouted, and there was a old boy sitting there in a square body single cab with his feet up on the steering wheel. And so I parked next to him. So my passenger door is next to his driver's door. And I get out. And as soon as I shut my door, I heard another car door shut. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I went around because my bow was in the back passenger seat. So I was going around the tailgate to get into it. And this guy's standing there, big, tall, scrawny guy, and like all scruffled and everything. And he's sitting there and he's looking at me. And I'm like, howdy. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was going to go hunting back here, right? A couple, like 300-400 yards from the road right here, back past this field. He's like, no, not today. You can't. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're not hunting here today. I said, you know what, bud? I'm not hunting here today. I'm going to head out. And I went down to the local gas station. I filled up with gas, and I was talking to one of the local cops or whatever they were down there. And I told him, I was like, hey, you might want to go check this out. And he's like, no, whatever they're doing up there, nobody wants a part of. So you're better off getting out of there. We're not going to do anything about it either, is what I got from the conversation.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was, but I guess if you do research on that part of Kentucky, like it's a little shady, but it was, yeah, that was probably the scariest I ever met.
You think he would have hurt you if you went out there?
I don't know if he'd have hurt me. I don't know what he would have done to me. I don't know if he would have wanted to love me or what.
Just a weird looking dude.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like he had buddies out there and he was guarding that, because the guy said
Oh, okay.
that I guess there was an old shack or something out there. I didn't know about it, but he said that they called it something's shack or something.
So you hired a guide and he was taking you out on public?
No, I hired a guide, and I went down there, and we just figured out that it wasn't good. Like, he lost a bunch of his leases, come to find out, and then I don't know if he didn't expect all of us to talk or anything because he put us all up in the same hotel. Like the year before that everybody booked this year off of was he had his own lodge, he had everything. So then we get down there and I pull up to this gate and he's like, "Yeah, no, just wait at the gate." So I'm waiting at the gate and he comes ripping in a side by side, opens the gate. We go down and there's two like tents. And I'm like, "Oh, what's going on here? Where are we going to sleep or what's going on?" And, yeah, come to find out he ended up putting us up at a hotel, and there was a lot of, I don't know what you like, drugs and stuff floating around at the campfire that night with him, and, one thing like, I used to look up to this guy, and one thing that he told us all sitting there, he's like, "Boy, if you guys have if you" how the hell do you word it? "If you guys think I never shot one of my giants off of drugs, you're crazy," or something along those lines.
This was the outfitter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy time in my life.
I'm glad we elaborated on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. 'Cause I don't ever want him to do that to anybody else. I don't think he should be in business. I don't think he should have the reputation that he does and everything. It's just but I don't think he does anymore. I don't think he has the reputation he does. I don't or the reputation he did, and I don't think he has the outfitting business anymore either. I did see something, somebody had sent it to me because I got talking to all these guys down there, the locals, and somebody sent it was, am I with your boyfriend.com, or it was a page on Facebook or something, and it was him, and there was a bunch of money needed to be exchanged and everything. I was like, all right, well, at least I'm doing better than that guy.
When was this?
That happened just this past year. The guy got a hold of me about it, but when I went down there,
Was it one of those Facebook groups? Are we dating the same guy?
yes, that's what it was. That's what it was.
I've been on those groups, man. Give me.
No way.
I mean, you go on one bad day and tell a girl you don't want to see her again. You never know. She might have hard feelings and just try blasting you on the group.
It's hard to break hearts, man.
I get it. So, how much of the hunt you're doing now is in New York versus out of state?
Honestly, the past 3 years we've been doing the out of state really hard. I don't get a lot of time to hunt in New York anymore, really. Like I got to a little bit more this year and it felt really good, really, really good. But we're doing probably 80% out of state.
What's it like where you're at in New York? Kind of describe layout, terrain, all that stuff.
It's a lot of hemlock, a lot of hemlock swamps and apple orchards. We got a lot of apple orchards. Not a lot of big ag. There is ag, but not a lot of big ag.
Is dairy farming big there?
Yeah, a lot of smaller dairy farms. So a lot of small dairy farms. Not anything huge. We have a couple like real big ones, but they're probably all 45 minutes to an hour away. But it's
Okay.
so we're dealing with a lot of like rolling timber, and it goes into like hemlock swamps. I hate hunting hemlock swamps. I don't know what it is. I don't like it at all.
That's probably why you haven't shot big bucks. That's where they're at, man.
Probably. That's where they keep them all.
No, I don't hunt swamps. I haven't needed to, but I had a guy on, Cody Hoon.
Cody Hune, I love that guy. I gotta talk to that dude, man. Me and him are gonna be best friends.
That's all he hunts is public land swamps, and he kills giants.
But these hemlock swamp, I wished I could explain it to you because it's almost like flooded timber, but the roots are dry.
Okay.
It's really weird. That's what we have a lot of around here in the lower valleys. But then, like, we don't have a lot of hardwoods. A lot of red oak, and maple, a lot of maple. But I learned doing this out of state hunting and everything. I love hill country. I love it. It speaks to me. Like I feel like I can diagnose it. But like even farm country around here is just I don't know. I have trouble with it. Like my brother, on the other hand, he's good with it. He inside field corner edge. Like he knows it.
Where you hunt New York, it's not flat.
No, No, not a lot of flat. If you go more western New York, that's where you get into, like, the big flats, like, out by Ithaca and Buffalo and everything out there. They can have giant deer out there.
It's flat where I've always hunted, and people don't understand how hard it is to, like, pinpoint where deer are moving.
Dude, that is one of the most underestimated things ever is flat land.
Like, if you're in really hilly country and there's a draw going down a steep ridge, the deer are gonna take the path of least resistance. They have no incentive to take this path versus this path when it's dead flat.
The one the one thing I will say about the big I don't know if you're talking big open flat or big, like, just oak flats or something, but I know with the big open flats, one thing that I have learned, like, about hunting South Dakota or Nebraska or anything is, like matriarchal trees or, like, a Lone Island tree or something, like, I feel like they it's like they use it as a roadmap kinda, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess I was talking hunting the timber edge or something like that.
Okay.
There's no one trail going into the timber. There might be like 40 and 400 yards.
Yeah. I know, and that's like, you could sit there on the even on the roadside and, like, look at it with binoculars and see the a same buck come out 13 different ways 12 nights of the week, you know?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So it's not very flat where you're at, but is there a lot of deer?
There's a lot of deer. I would say there's a lot of deer. Like, it's I mean, if you go out and, on a normal night, like, where you don't get skunked around, but if you go out on a normal night, like 5 deer, 5, 6 deer, I don't feel like that's that bad.
Seems kind of
Is
bad,
that
but
bad?
I'm in
Is that
Iowa.
bad?
Granted, I'm on private. I'm on private. Public 5, 6 deer would probably be a pretty good night.
Oh, no, this is on the New York is our private to public ratio is we hunt probably 40% private and
Okay.
60% public, but, like, even our private is it's I mean, it's our best private is probably comparable to some of the public land in the Midwest that we hunt.
Do you have pretty big deer where you're at?
Body-wise, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What would you consider the size of buck that if somebody shoots, people are gonna start talking?
Boy, we have 2 buck tags. So, if you get a guy that's shooting 95 to 105 inch, 2 95 to 105 inch bucks a year, like, th he's not a legend, but people definitely know who that guy is. But if
Are
you
you
get
kidding me?
Oh, yeah, but if you get a guy that's shooting, like, 120s to 130s, at least one of them a year consistently, he's a legend. Like, everybody wants to go talk to that guy.
Oh, man. It's
Yeah.
so crazy that I mean, I'm not anywhere close to the best part in Iowa, probably right in the median. So, like, if I shot a 140, nobody'd really care.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. This is I'll turn it a little bit. That's that one there.
Well, that's a nice buck.
Yeah, he's, 137. That's my best buck. That was, New York. But no, like,
Did people come from miles away to come see it?
oh, yeah. I had people, like, wanting to burn my mailbox down over that.
It's so crazy to think about. That's one thing I've really dove into these episodes because it's very dependent on where you are. I bet there's parts of New York where people are consistently on booners.
Absolutely. It's just not where I'm at, and I'm happy with that because I have, like, our family tradition here and we know what to expect and everything, but, I mean, you go to Western New York, absolutely. Like, there's big deer there. When I was climbing cell phone towers out by, Tonawanda, by Buffalo, we saw giants, giants, and that's where there was 2 kids that ended up getting in trouble for hunting inside the city limits out there, killing big deer, and but, like, even
Boone and Crockett, big deer.
I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, they're, 160s probably.
No, that's nice deer.
Oh, absolutely. That's a nice deer anywhere. But I shed hunt this place up in the Adirondacks, and for whatever reason, I find sheds there every year, and the first year I went up there, I found a really nice one, and the guy who I went up there told me about it, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I got, like, 4 sheds off of that deer." So I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Holy cow." But there's hidden gems, there's pockets, yes, I agree with that.
I would bet I don't wanna say all states, 50 states. I would bet 35 of them have at least pockets that produce booners every year.
I would agree with that. I absolutely, because even, like, I mean, you look at New York Antler Outdoors, like, there's people turning out giants. It's usually out in the western state, and so for whatever reason, like, Long Island I think that's where one of the archery state records came from is down there. Like,
There's even pockets of Delaware that produce booners.
oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you what, Maryland too. I went down there to pick up our puppy that we have 2 years ago. Me and her went down there, and I was like, "Well, we got 2 hours, so let's go shed hunting." And just from some of the stuff we found down there and the sign that we found down there, I would definitely go back there and hunt 100%.
Yeah, I had a guy on from Louisiana that's killed a couple over 175 down there.
Oh, no kid, jeez.
Yeah, Louisiana of all places.
Who that's There was I can't remember what podcast I seen or what he was on. I don't know if it was Lance Mathers or there was somebody, and this guy just had, like, these giant buck pictures out in the swamp, and I'm like, "Dude, that would be awesome," like, out there by the river and the flooded cypress and everything. It was crazy. It's cool pictures.
How would you describe the hunting culture where you're at? You kinda got into it a little bit when people were trying to burn your mailbox down for shooting a big deer.
That was Yeah, well, that one was a different scenario. That one, somebody a couple of miles away on the other side of the ridge there he was very known because he had this, dagger point come out, so everybody kinda knew who he was, but we had pictures of him for 3 years, and when I shot him, I probably should have just been honest with the kid, but he's like, "Oh, where'd you kill that buck?" And I told him a town, like, 20 miles away, and he lit me up about it. I was like, "Okay, okay, yeah, yeah." I should have just been honest, but I don't like giving away my spots.
None of his business.
No, and, like, if he woulda come up and just been like, "Oh my, congratulations, what a hell of a deer. Like, look at these pictures I have of it and everything," like, it would phenomenal, phenomenal, but, like, his everybody, they were all mad at me. I don't know. But the culture, other than that, I feel like it's very family oriented, like, it's not too much. I wish it was more the community came together, and maybe it is in some parts of the state, but just not where I'm at. Like, everybody around here has big families, so it's always the family hunts this property, and, like, that's what they do. Like, they all get together and everything.
Is deer drives big out there, or is everybody just kinda independent?
My Deer drives are big, but my dad never would let us do them. I don't know if it was a safety thing or he just didn't like he don't like spooking deer. Uh, uh, but other than that, like, I've been on maybe 2 deer drives in my life, but I don't know, the hunting culture up here, the camp-wise, it's died off a lot. It used to be back in the day, like, when my grandfather was around and everything, and, me and my brother, now that we both have kids and everything, we've kinda taken it upon ourselves to try to bring that back and make it more of like, "Alright, we're all gonna get the kids together every year and try to do something."
Yeah, and that's good. So, like, when I was younger, we did deer drives, and don't get me wrong, the camaraderie's a lot of fun of being with people you haven't seen for 5 years and getting into trouble and all that stuff, but to each their own if people wanna deer drive and run deer down with vehicles and whatever. It's not the most proper way of doing it, but it is fun.
Absolutely. The camaraderie thing, that is something that I wished we had a little bit more of growing up because it was always just me, my brother, and my dad, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world, don't get me wrong, but I do wish we had a little bit more of, like, outsider information and everything, and, like, more of the just, like, cousins and stuff like that.
It was just you guys and you guys weren't even hunting together. He'd throw you out in a
Yeah.
tree by yourself when you're 9 years old.
Yeah, pretty much, and that but well, my brother's scared of the dark, to this day. And yeah, oh yeah, and I just got my driver's license. My dad told me to pick I had to stay late after school for practice, and my dad told me, "Well, pick your brother up on your way back home from school." I said, "All right," and so I get out there. I parked the truck. I had to walk across like 50 yards of field, and then probably 200 yards into the woods. And I just step into the woods, and I start hearing this screaming and hollering, and I'm like, "What is going on in there?" So I start running towards him, like thinking something's wrong. And I get to the base of the tree. I'm like, "Nathan, what's the matter?" And he's like, "There was coyotes everywhere. They were coming for you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Don't get me wrong, I get a little nervous walking out in the woods. I have a reason, so I don't know if I've ever told this story. I think this is why I get a little nervous in the dark.
What do you got?
I'm gonna have to make a reel of this. So, I mean, as a kid, everybody's a little timid in the dark. And is me and my siblings, we're all tough, 10 years old or whatever, sleeping in a tent in the back of the farm. So, like out by the windbreak, there's no wild animals on the farm. But my uncles, they like torturing kids or whatever. But we're sound asleep, and all of a sudden they crawl under the tent, like "Rawr, rawr," like clawing and stuff like that. And of course, I don't have my shoes on. I've never run so fast across the gravel yard. They said my feet didn't even look like they were touching the gravel. I was running so fast.
Oh,
But
yeah.
can you imagine a 9-year-old kid? I still think that to this day is why I get a little on edge walking through the timber in the middle of the dark.
Oh, yeah, just a little, yeah, I get it. That would do it.
I mean, yeah, they're harmless, but if a kid's walking out in the middle of the night and like a stray dog like runs after them, like they're probably not gonna ever forget that. A 10-year-old kid.
What is with the stray dogs in the Midwest?
Oh, you don't see them. Well, I take that back. I got Mennonites by us. Which, are you familiar with Mennonites?
Oh, yeah.
Dogs everywhere. Just if it wasn't illegal, they'd all have arrows in them.
I mean, I just like up here, we never see stray dogs. And as soon as we go to, boy, it seems like as soon as you pass Virginia, everything out there has stray dogs all over it.
I mean, I'm driving 2 hours to hunt and having these damn stray dogs ruin my hunts.
Shit, that's rough. That is rough. We drove 14 hours and had one ruin our hunt.
If I was out in the middle of nowhere, like there wasn't houses so close, the dog would probably disappear.
Oh, I hear you. I hear it. So you grew up on a farm out there in Iowa?
Say that again.
You grew up on a farm in Iowa?
Yeah, big beef farm.
What was that like? Tell me a little bit about that.
That's all I know, man. It's all we did was work, and it's nice. I mean, growing up on a farm, you're blessed because you have access to resources that city kids might not have. Big row crop farmer. We didn't have a lot of timber, 45 acres, but if you're local to the area and other farmers and whatever, you just get access that some of the other kids don't.
Yeah. So is that more like flat with tree rows and stuff?
So I'd say 90% row crop / CRP, just because
Okay.
of the programs. And the timber, other than the river bottom, which the river bottom is what we own, it's about 45 acres and maybe like 400 yards wide. The river's maybe 25 yards wide. But other than that, it's like a 40-acre block of timber right here in the middle of a cornfield, 30-acre block here.
I got you. Okay. That CRP is good stuff.
I mean, you can't really hunt it.
No, but man, they love it. Oh my goodness. Or it
Yeah.
seems like it anyway, from what I've seen out there, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been hunting for a lot of years. What do you think has been like the best? How do I want to word this? I've kind of got these transitions down on this guide. Good. But this one from culture to the reflection, I need to figure out because it gets me every time. But like looking back at all your years hunting, how do you think you've evolved as a hunter So, was there any point, like, maybe you got caught up in the TV shows where you turned into an egotistical hunter and all you wanted to do was kill giants?
Yes and no. I figured it was possible, and then I figured out that it's very humbling. But I don't know. My brother has always been a very we make a good team because he's always, "No, just keep going. No matter we run the cell cameras, tree stands, and well, excuse me. Let's keep going. It's worth it. It's worth it." And then I'm a very patient, woe up person. So so we make a very good team, I feel like on I don't know if we could do what we do with anybody else, I guess. But I don't know if that's what you're asking. I guess I don't.
So, when you're a kid, you're just excited to get out there, maybe spending time with your dad. And I feel like most hunters I talk to, and it's not just hunting, but they get to that 18 to 21 range where they think they know everything and all they want to do is kill a giant to stroke their ego. And then you get a little bit older, maybe late 20s or whatever, you start to appreciate it more. It's kind of like the home away from home. And then where you're going to be in a couple years when you start taking your kids out, then I feel like it kind of transitions more.
Oh, sure. And I feel like now that you say it like that, I do feel like I just hit that transition. I feel like I might have hit it a little bit later. I got a bit of a reputation in the family of with the out of state things. Like I'm going to shoot the first thing that makes me happy. And it's not always the biggest thing. But now that was more of I need to collect them type of deal. And now I feel like I'm more of okay, I'm out here doing this for this long. I'm giving up this part of my life. Like I want to wait and see what else I can get. I want to wait for a little bit more. I want to try a little bit harder. I want to see and dig a little bit more. I want to learn more. And I just is that more what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So more appreciation for just getting away from work.
Oh yeah. And I love my work too. I do love my job, but that's why we changed our jobs. My like I said, my brother he came up with this harebrained idea. He said, "Boy, I could get an interview and we could not work all deer season." And I was climbing cell phone towers in March, and I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's like negative 30 degrees up here and a wind chill like you wouldn't believe." So I'm okay with that. And I let him go for like 2 months just to make sure it was real, and then I ended up following him, and ever since then we've been. It's I feel very blessed to have gotten the opportunity and the jobs that we do. That way, we go back to work in April and we get laid off in October.
Not bad. That works out pretty good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Do you feel like your mission statement towards hunting is going to change in the next 5 years with the kids?
Probably within the next two, because my daughter this year will be her first year to be able to do the youth hunt with a New York has a youth rifle hunt Columbus Day weekend in October.
Has she gone out with you yet?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I did kind of the same thing as my dad did. I never asked her, but whenever she wanted to go, I never told her no. But I always have had her with me and everything. And like we usually leave in October to go on our hunting trip, but now this year it's I got me and my brother and one of my best friends all dedicated to all right, we're gonna film this. That way she excuse me, has it the rest of her life. And so we're gonna work on filming it and everything and getting her first deer ever. And then we drew Kansas points, and Kansas doesn't get good until later on. So we're gonna probably hit one or two more states before we go there.
So I got to ask this. I'm curious because I've seen it with my younger brother and nieces and nephews. So she says she wants to go. When it's time to get ready, walk me through that process. Is she good about just getting her clothes on and being ready to go, or is it like pulling teeth?
You got to put it on a calendar. You got to set it a week ahead of time. Like she'll go, but it's boy, if I want to get out of the house at 2, I got to tell her at 11, just because like it's. It's rough. It is rough because everything's gotta be right, and then, like, I people hate it because I hunt in, like, Walmart clothes and flannels, like, I and she like, for her birthday the one year she's like, "Oh, I really like she." So I went out we got her all this she stuff and everything, and boy, she's gotta have it just right. She's gotta have the pants, she's gotta have the shirt, the hoodie, the jacket, the hat, and I'm like, "Boy, my dad had hit me 7 times to get out the door by the time you got ready."
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I'm not the quickest person getting ready. Kids, you better plan on an hour for them to get ready.
Oh, absolutely, and I do give it to her, though, because once we're out there, she's not a very fidgety person. Like, she takes it all in. She sits there and she'll talk to me or just watch stuff or ask me questions. She's not on, like, a screen or nothing. Like, I do feel like she genuinely does love it.
Is she making it the entire sit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She hasn't done a morning sit yet, though. Oh, that's a different story.
Well, I didn't know if they get bored pretty easy, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Dad, can we go home? I'm cold.
Oh, no, her feet, the last year, she told me we were walking down here, there's like a 3 acre, or not even 3 acres, 3 acres total, but there's like a half acre food plot I put in down here across the road. And we were walking down in there and her boots weren't as high as I thought they were. And we got sat down in there and she's like, my feet are cold. I'm like, it'll be all right. We only got a little bit. Well, we ended up coming back up to the house and she still had snow. She's like, well, I told you there was snow in my boots. I'm like, you didn't tell me that. You just told me your feet were cold. But she sat there the whole time, never complained more about it.
How cold was it at this point?
Oof, it was probably single digits. It was,
Ooh.
yeah, probably 9 degrees.
No frostbite?
No, no, I mean, it was late season, so we only went down there for maybe an hour and a half. It was just more like, let's go down here. I was going to see if I could shoot a doe. It was muzzleloader season.
So it was snow that got into her boot, not straight water.
No, just snow straight. And it was dry, fluffy snow.
So that probably helps a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think she's gonna get one tagged out this year?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do. I do. I don't know what it is. I'll leave it up to her what she wants to kill. But I did tell her. I said, this is your first year, and she loves running trail cameras. It's her favorite thing to do. I said, this year, your job is you're going to help. Like, you're going to do trail cameras. You're going to do food plots. You're going to help hang stands or whatever we got to do. Or me and my brother were talking about building a hut, elevated hut on one of the leases for my dad. And I told her, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to help with that too." But as of right now, she's all about it.
She probably thinks it's about the way kids think or how we thought when we were younger. It's an eternity waiting that long.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even driving there, she's like, or she's bad with it anywhere. We drive anywhere. Are we there yet? How much longer we got till we're there? We go here every day, man. You know.
I just remember like all we hunted was like gun season in December, and when you got within 2 weeks, man, it seemed like ages and ages to get here. Now years fly by like crazy.
You ain't kidding, man. You are not kidding. Boy, and I don't know if the travel hunting helps it or hurts it because it seems like you might make more memories, but it seems like they're condensed. Like by the time you get back, you're like, what the heck just happened? And then like you got 2 weeks of deer season back home and it's done. It's hard.
I forgot to ask this earlier. Describe the seasons in New York.
New York is October 1st bow opener, and then Columbus Day weekend, I believe, is like October 13th. It usually falls around. That's the youth rifle hunt. And then I think they just legalized crossbow all season, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And then opening day of rifle is usually like between the 15th and the 18th of November. And then that goes until December 18th, 19th, maybe. Because my brother's birthday, I think, is the 18th. So depending on the year, that's when it closes. And then muzzleloader starts. And that goes until the 22nd. And then they made a new season a couple years ago, the holiday hunt, they call it. So there's a week break from like the 22nd or whatever the last day of muzzleloader is to there's a week break and then there you get up until January 1st to hunt.
Okay. So pretty condensed season overall.
Yeah, just a lot of gun, a lot of gun in it.
If you could change one thing about New York deer seasons, what would you change?
A lot of people would probably say a lengthened gun or shortened gun season, but I mean, if people want to hunt, I'm not going to tell anybody when to hunt or when not to hunt. I don't know.
It's just tough when it's during peak rut.
Yeah, I would to make everybody happy, which it would probably still piss people off, but I feel like the lesser evil would be to make it a 1 buck state. And I have a theory that um a 1 buck state that baits and has crossbow in the gun season or in the bow season is the best state for out of staters to go gun hunt because all the residents are usually probably tagged out. That's what we've noticed.
I wish Iowa was a 1 buck state.
Yeah, because what do you guys get there? Like, if you own land and everything, what is the max?
If you own land, you can get 3 buck tags.
Is that any weapon for all of them, or
One has to be bow.
one has to be?
If you're not a landowner, you can only shoot one with a gun.
Okay. Do they have to be gun, or could you shoot them with a bow too?
You could shoot them both with a bow. You could shoot 3 with a bow.
Okay, all right. No kidding.
No crossbows in Iowa.
Right? Yeah. Was that a thing, or is that still going on?
Hasn't even been up for discussion. If you get like a doctor's note, you can do it, but other than
Yep.
that, you can't.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know New York fought it for a long time, and then I'm pretty sure it went through this year. No.
Well, I do need to start wrapping this up, but we still have a couple of fun segments. My favorite segments. I don't know. Did you look over the study guide?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay. We're going to do some rapid fire. You can go into a little detail if you want, but we're going to make this real quick. So, best hunting gear purchase you've ever made.
I'm gonna go ahead and say my Garmin watch because it has sunrise and sunset right on it. All I have to do is look at my watch.
You use the GPS while you're hunting?
A little bit, yeah. I'm just new to it, but yeah.
I love my Garmin, man.
You got one too?
Well, I'm a runner, so
Oh, no kidding. Good for you, man. Yeah.
I don't know if it's good for me, but I do it.
Oh, I used to run like 3 miles every day and it wrecked my knees. Then they told me I should start doing the bike. I said, I'm good.
All right, next one. Most gimmicky hunting purchase you've ever made. Anything you bought into the hype and realized like this was the worst money I ever spent.
Yeah, a lease by myself. I told the guy, I said, yes, I'll lease this and it'll only be me hunting it. It was the most boring thing I ever had in my life. I didn't even want to go there.
Really?
That was back in like 2014, maybe. And that was the hype, was to get a hunting lease. And I did it. And the guy said, all right, but you got to let me know who's on it. And I'm like, no, man, it's just going to be me. I'm going to run it. I'm going to do it. It was not fun at all. You need people, I think. Some people are good at doing it alone, but I'm more of I want to have people there and everything.
I get it, man. All right. Hunting luck versus skill. Percentage breakdown. Go.
Luck, I want to put luck at 60. I want to put skill at 40. And skill, I want to rely heavily on seat time.
It's interesting. I think I'm 80-20.
80 luck?
80 luck, yep.
Okay. I agree. Yeah.
When I say luck, like you have to be lucky enough to have a giant in your area. Like if you're talking just meat in the freezer, different ball game.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to kill a
Yeah.
giant deer, it's heavily weighted in favor of luck.
That's what I feel like people around here, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but like people around here, it's a lot of older people, not a lot of young people hunt around here. So it's always these older guys that like, oh, I'm holding out for a 160. And like, Carl, like you got an 80-inch 6-point on your property, man. That's it.
To each their own, man.
Yeah.
Most controversial hot take.
Probably, I don't know, like probably scent control. I'm going to go scent control.
The older I get, the more I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Most underrated hunting tactic.
Fear to fail. Feel like that holds more people back than anything. I feel like that's a tactic,
I'm going to throw another one in here. I got to add it to my guide. What is your definition of a hunter versus a killer?
A hunter, I feel like, is more of a, I don't know, I might see it differently. A hunter is more of a, like, an either, like, okay, I enjoy doing it and everything. They're not too serious about it, or a bragger. Like, I filled all my tags. But a killer is, "Yeah, I wanted this one," but they don't tell anybody about it. It goes under the radar, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they know what has to be done. They do it, and they're happy.
Mhm. That's pretty close. I think a hunter's they just wanna be out there. Killer, all they care about is the trophy on the wall, and if they get it done in one day, all that much better.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Well, you know what time it is. Time to break out some embarrassing hunting stories. What do you got for us?
Oh boy. All right. So I was pretty young. I think it was my first year youth turkey hunt. My dad, we were driving down this road, and we had permission to hunt out in this big cornfield. And he thought he seen turkeys out there, so he gave me binoculars. He dropped me off. He went up, turned around, and I'm looking out there. I'm like, holy cow, there's like 9, 10 of them. So he come back down through. He's like, are they turkeys? You know, are we good? I'm like, yeah. So we parked the truck and we get down in there, and there was only, like, it's a 60-acre field, and there's like 20 acres of woods in the middle of it. And so we get down there, and there's this little ditch going out through. There's no trees in it. It's just a ditch. And we get going out through the ditch and everything, and we get out to the trees where they were, and all these birds start taking off and everything. And he's like, "Are they vultures?" And I'm like, maybe they are. I don't know. I could have sworn they were turkeys, man, but they were turkey vultures. I never. Boy, he wasn't disappointed, but he wasn't very happy either.
I think every kid's done that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I do. I got one that might be a little bit worse. I don't know if it's embarrassing or shameful, but I do go through some pretty bad missing spells. The one year I missed like 9 turkeys in one season, but we're big turkey hunters up here too. But a couple years ago, our first year going to Nebraska, I think I missed a buck on opening day out of a saddle at like 60 yards. And then the second day,
With a bow?
no, with a rifle.
I was gonna say 60 yards with a bow is long poke.
No, no, it's just good old 308. And then the second day, I missed a really nice high rack buck. And boy, he was maybe only 90 yards. And I had to come back to the camp and tell him that I did that again. And then the third day, I missed a really nice 10 point, like out in the open plains. And that one didn't feel good because everybody was watching. And the following day after that, the fourth day, I had a either or tag, mule deer or whitetail. And I was the only one that had it. And we seen this mule deer. I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was a nice one, like probably 140-inch mule deer, which good enough for me. So we get stalking out up through there, and he's bedded down. And I had my brother's brother-in-law next to me, and we're like, all right, well, for him to stand up. He stood up, and shit, I think I winged like 4 of them at him, and I missed him every time. It was like 150 yards.
Same gun every time?
You know, all different guns, because I thought it was.
I was gonna say, too bad you don't have an excuse.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty lacking on that. But the next day I did end up shooting one of my nicer ones too. So, but it's hard. The last 2 that I missed, everybody in camp was already tagged out. They were out there watching me do it, and having to walk back like that is rough.
All been there, man. We get the same way pheasant hunting when you got all your buddies and you can't hit squat.
Yeah, it's. But I mean, you get the razzing and everything. Like, that's what it's all about.
All right, man. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Good visiting with you for all our 35 listeners. If you like what we're doing, I'd really appreciate it if you tell your buddies and subscribe. And we'll be back again next week.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thank you for having me on, Mitchell. I appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll be in touch.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.